Howdy y'all, welcome back here today. Before we get started, as always, please like, subscribe, comment. I like reading y'all's comments. Let's get started. Today I'm going to show y'all the blades that a mountain man probably would have had on his person. To start with, a tomahawk. Now he would have had this for personal use, cutting up wood or anything like that. Now, large scale wood cutting wood, large trees, if he would have had a horse, he probably had a large axe with him. Now, if he was an accompaniment, they probably had a couple axes with him, but this was just for personal wood cutting. Also, while I like a tomahawk, knock the head off of it, use it for butchering up game, skinning. You can break bone with this if you had to, get the marrow out of it. Also, you can dice with it. I've read accounts of mountain men pounding up their coffee with the butt of their tomahawks, pounding up pemmican, pounding up anything else that they wanted pounded up, pounding in trap steaks, pounding in tent steaks. And you gotta think, back in the days of the mountain men, he'd have had a single shot rifle. He might have had a pistol with him. He might not have, but he might have only been able to get off 3 shots at attacking an animal, a group of Indians, what may have you. So he might have had to resort to his tomahawk to fend something off. And trust me, this can be used to devastate an effect on something. It is built, and he'd have had a large knife. Now, maybe not in the style of a Bowie knife. It's kind of a little bit of a later pattern. And also, and I get into it very in depth on a video I made earlier on the history of the Bowie knife. These weren't called Bowie knives before Jim Bowie made these type of knives famous. These were called butcher's knives. Now, again, he'd have used this for skinning, maybe processing up an animal, and also fighting with if in need of arose. He'd have had this on his belt. And also, he probably would have also had this stuck in his belt as well. Now, some men might have carried something like this: an Arkansas toothpick, a Scottish dirk, or a dagger, whatever you might want to call it. And you can use this as a regular knife if you wanted to. Maybe not as effective, but you'll get the job done. Also used as a pretty good weapon, which is probably why most of them were just carried. Next, most men probably would have had one of these from the time he was a young boy. Is a folding knife or some kind of whittling knife. Use this for any kind of task you don't want to do with your belt knife or anything like that. And they also enjoyed whittling with their knives, sitting around a campfire, not doing nothing, whittling on a piece of wood. There's accounts of men making rifle stocks, anything like that. And it's also an account of a man that had his leg amputated, and he made himself a peg leg with his whittling knife. And I'll make a video on that shortly. It's a pretty interesting story, but that would have probably been in his possibles bag. Also in his possibles bag, and this might have been his utility knife if he didn't have a pocket knife. Would have been called a patch knife. Been used to cut his patches with, or been another utility knife. But this is just my take on what a mountain man might have carried blade wise on him. So hope y'all enjoyed this, maybe found it a little bit informative. Y'all have a good one. Take care.